So the NBA Finals are this week. As you know, we got the Indiana Pacers versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. And yes, I know the community's been asking my opinion, what you guys think my prediction, my breakdown on the NBA Finals are. So I suppose I can give it to you guys. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking it down, my thoughts, who's going to win the finals, and so forth like that. So game one, Thursday, Oklahoma. We got obviously the Pacers Thunder. Two juggernauts on both opposite sides of the ball. The Pacers got the best offense, the Thunder with the best defense. As Ant-Man said, the Thunder have 15 men on strings like a puppet. That's what Ant-Man compared to the Thunder's defense to. You know, they are very cohesive. They are one of the most underrated defenses of all time, one of the best defenses of all time. And I really think that's going to be the case. Like, it's a classic as old as time, man. The best offense versus the best defense. And what do they say? What is the quote that they always say? Defense wins championships, man. And the Thunder, they got the better defense. It's going to come down to the Pacers and their shot making, really pushing the pace. Don't let the Thunder's defense get set up. Don't work the half court offense. Don't let them get in position to be physical with you. And the Pacers, they obviously do a really good job running that offense very fast. Halliburton going from one of the most overrated players in the league, as voted on, not my opinion, but he went from one of the most overrated players in the league to turning heads this playoffs to having a legendary, one of the most iconic fucking playoff runs. If you were to sit here and tell me before the season that Tyrese Halliburton would have one of the most iconic playoff runs of the last 10, 15 years, I'd be like, are you fucking crazy? Like, there's no way. Halliburton? Like, the Pacers? Huh? Who? Like, who's this kid? The Halliburton kid? Who? But here he is, clip farming, aura farming, hitting clutch shots, doing the celebrations. He's got the Pacers in the finals. And Siakam. We cannot say it's just Halliburton. Siakam has stepped it up huge. And Siakam is honestly, if Siakam continues to hoop, continues to ball, and pushes his points per game up even more from last series, I think he averaged 24 against the Knicks, who also have a very good defense. They also have very good defenders, not as full of depth as the Thunder. The Thunder are one of the most deep teams in the NBA. You got Caruso on the bench, who could be all NBA defensive team. You had Jalen Williams, who was second team all defensive team. You got Lou Dort, who was first team all defensive team. Shai, who's not terrible on defense. Hartenstein's not terrible on defense. Chet, who could be a defensive player of the year 1 year. Like, the Thunder are crazy on defense, and the Pacers cannot settle. They cannot afford to set up their half-court offense constantly, which obviously they're not looking to do all the time. They are a run-and-gun team. They're a points and transition team, points off turnovers team. That is the Pacers. That is their identity, having the best offense in the NBA, a very, very high-octane offense. The Thunder, very physical defense, like I said. So it's just a tale as old as time, defense versus offense. And when you have a team like the Pacers, who you are very reliant on other players than your best player scoring, leading your team in scoring, like the Pacers need everyone to chip in. They need every single person to get there above their average in scoring, especially against the Thunder. You need Nembhard to step up, okay? You need Siakam to step up. You need Miles Turner to step up. You need all these guys. The Thomas Bryant legacy game 6 against the Knicks. We saw that, 3 for 3 from 3. We need these players, or the Pacers need these players. Naismith, we saw how crazy Naismith went in game 4? I think it was game 4 against the Knicks. Like, that is what the Pacers need. They're not a team built on Halliburton getting his, like how Shai is getting his 30 to 40 a night from Shai. That is where the Oklahoma City Thunder is built. It is what it is. Their offense is built on, let Shai score, let Shai cook, and the rest will follow. As the Pacers run and gun team, they need to be hitting their shots. They need to be consistent from 3. You need Siakam to stay aggressive. He cannot be in a cold slump. If Siakam has an off game, they are losing. There's no way the Pacers, unless you get another crazy game from one of the Pacers role players, they are not taking that game, okay? If it's a grimy game, which I really can't see not a grimy game, but like a back and forth game, how people say it's like a two heavyweights, throwing punches back and forth and the momentum is switching back and forth. I really don't see any game being like that. Kind of like how the Thunder and Nuggets series was, where it's like, oh, you had leads, you had, this team's winning this game. It's clearly anyone's series, where I think fairly, if within the first two games, we'll know who's winning the series pretty soundly. I don't think if the Pacers go down early, which I don't think anyone really thinks the Indiana Pacers are going to go into Oklahoma City and steal both games. That's just not happening. Even if it does, like, the Thunder are probably still going to be favorites. They're minus 700 right now. Huge favorites, the Thunder, for all the right reasons. They were 9 wins away from tying or breaking the NBA record for games won in a single season. They were that close to breaking Golden State's record of 73-9. Nobody talks about that. They were 9 games away from doing that. That is a very small sample, like not a sample size. That is a very small, thin line in between the best NBA record of all time and not. Like, it really is. So that is just, it's not being talked about enough. This Thunder team is not getting the respect they really deserve. A lot of people thought the Timberwolves were going to put up a better fight than the Nuggets. I mean, the Nuggets did take them to 7, so it's kind of hard to put up a better fight than that, but it was not competitive at all. The Thunder and Wolves series, it was not. The Thunder absolutely fucking dismantled the Wolves. A lot of people had the Wolves winning. The Wolves were catching their stride. They would have some very cold off nights shooting, but I think a lot of people thought the Timberwolves were going to put up a better fight against the Thunder. The Thunder came in. They showed why they're the most dominant team in the league. They showed why they deserve to be in the finals. The Pacers go out there, beat the Knicks. Not a lot of people thought the Pacers were going to go there and beat the fucking Knicks. The Knicks have a good starting 5. They have good pieces. The Pacers just run too fast. They've got really good role players when they're making their shots, when they're defending well, when the Pacers are out in space. It's very special. It's a very fun thing to watch. The Pacers run and gun offense. And when you get these players that are making their threes and making their shots, it's very, very hard to beat this team, obviously. The Pacers and the Thunder have played twice this season. The Thunder beat the Pacers once in December by 6. I want to say it was 6 or 7. They didn't have Chet or Caruso, so take that as you will. They again played in March. The Thunder beat them by like 20. Both teams, I think Shai dropped 45 in that game. So both teams were healthy, and the Thunder absolutely mollywopped the Pacers. I really think the physical defense of the Thunder, for how good that team is defensively, it's easier to stop a better offense. When you have an elite defense like that, than having a really good offense. A really good offense does not beat a really good defense. Obviously, defense wins championships. And that is why I really think the Thunder are going to go in there and beat the Pacers. I am rooting for the Pacers. Like, I would rather see the Pacers go out there and win. That would be cool. That would be so much better for the NBA. It really would be. It's a breath of fresh air. Not that the Thunder, they obviously haven't won. Both teams are still looking for their first championship. So, obviously, if the Thunder go out there and win, it's a breath of fresh air as well. Both teams, like I said, neither has won the championship. So, it's going to be a first-time championship for either team. But the Thunder, they've kind of been there. They've been to the finals in 2012. They've been elite. They've had these elite players, Harden, Durant, Westbrook, Paul George, so forth. The Pacers, man, they have not been this good. I don't care what you say about the Paul George, Roy Hibbert days, the Danny Granger days. This Pacers team is better than those Pacers teams. The Pacers haven't been to the finals since 2000. Okay? Like 25 years we're talking. And I understand the Thunder were, 13 years ago? So that's a fairly long time, but we're talking 25 years. All right? The Pacers, they were always just like a mid-ass team. They're never horrible. They're never super elite. No star talent is going to Indiana. It's homegrown talent. Oklahoma, they can pull in some stars because of, what they used to have. They have drafted insanely well, okay? Presti, masterclass, year in and year out. He has built one of the best rosters, a fucking juggernaut of a roster, and they still have draft picks. Still have a plethora of first-round draft picks in the next fucking 10 years. The Presti masterclass That is a 101 on how to build a roster, how to draft, how to construct great roster building, great roster management, great trading. Okay, Presti masterclass. And then just look at the Pacers to trade for Halliburton, to believe in Halliburton, to trade for Siakam, to believe in Siakam, to be that second player. Okay, that's a special thing in its own right, and for them to be in the finals, that is very cool to see. Okay, so Halliburton is also going to have. That's what I'll say. Halliburton. It's my thing watching this low key. Halliburton against the Thunder's defense. Like, obviously, it's the Pacers versus the Thunder, but how is the Thunder's defense going to do against Halliburton? He's not a world beater on offense like Ant. He's not this all-around insane giant of a man like Jokic. Halliburton is very unique. This man, he has a very, very, very low turnover rate, and he gets a lot of players involved. He's a very good in-and-out scorer. He can shoot the ball. Okay, like, he's definitely not as diverse as Ant. He's definitely not as athletic as Ant. Or, I won't even say, I don't know, would you say Jamal Murray's a better scorer than, like, a better pure scorer than Halliburton? Like, he's obviously a better shooter, probably, but the threat of Halliburton is how well, it's kind of like the Jokic, how well he sees the floor, how well he can make passes, make the right reads, how good Halliburton is at not turning the ball over. He turns the ball over at such a low rate where it's going to be very interesting to see how this Thunder's defense handles that. And obviously, just having low turnovers doesn't make you win the game. But if the Pacers are turning over the ball at a very high rate or higher than normal rate, they're doomed. Like, the Pacers are fucked. They're cooked if they can't contain the turnovers, and they have to be able to run in transition and not get tired, and they have to treat every possession. The Pacers have to treat every single possession as the last, like every single possession as the game winner. They have to score every single time. The Thunder will make you fucking pay if you slip up for 3 minutes. If you don't score for 4 minutes, 2 minutes, the Thunder will make you fucking pay, okay? Because guess what? The Thunder shots will fall. The Thunder, elite. Everyone knows how good the Thunder are at getting to the line, okay? The Thunder's offense can compete, okay? But to have a defense like that, okay, the offense will follow. If you hold your opponent to not scoring a point in 3 minutes, your offense, I can guarantee you the other team, if they're not scoring, they're not playing as good a defense as you. So guess what? Your offense will just start trickling in buckets. They're going to start adding, chipping away. Even if they're down, they're going to start chipping away or just building that lead, and all of a sudden the Thunder have a 20-point lead. And it's like, how the fuck did we get here? The defense, okay? So the Pacers have to treat every single possession as their last possession, man. Every possession is dire. And I know it's very cliche to say that in basketball, but against a defense like this, when you have the offense like the Pacers, where you have to make your shots, you don't have that offensive guy, that Kevin Durant, that Ant, that Jokic, that go get a bucket. They really don't have that. Siakam is really good. And if you're saying, Siakam, we need this bucket, you're not as confident as saying, obviously, hey, Ant, we need this bucket. Even Cat, like, I know they didn't play Cat, but like, Cat, we need this bucket. Jokic, we need this bucket. Siakam is not like that. Halliburton is not like that. So, I don't know, man. I can see the Pacers going out there, putting up a good fight, close, but it's the second half. The Thunder are second half demons. The Nuggets took the Pacers, or the Nuggets took the Thunder to 7. Obviously, we all know that. That was the recipe. It's the role players. Aaron Gordon, someone needs to step up like that. And if a role player like Naismith, Nembhard, Miles Turner's not stepping up like that. Okay, Siakam, he can be that good. He can be that second star or be the guy on offense. But they really need the Pacers really need one of their third players, someone else to just step up in a crazy way, like a Fred VanVleet-esque way when the Raptors were in the playoffs in 2019 or in the finals in 2019. They need someone like that to just jump up in the scoring avenue because they're not going to stop them. The Pacers defense is not going to stop Shy. It's just not. It's not going to stop the Thunder offense from operating. They need to make their shots. The Thunder, my prediction is, honestly, I've got the Thunder winning in 5. If I go the Pacers route, if I want to say the Pacers are going to win, I think the Pacers, if they were to win, it'd be Pacers in 6. I really could see. You never know, because that's the thing. You literally never know what's going to happen. Did people think the Pacers were going to go in there and whoop the Knicks' ass? No, nobody thought that. Like, genuinely, for how good the game's, like, no one thought the Indiana Pacers were going to beat the Knicks. Knicks have a sound defense. They have Brunson. They have Cat, who can get a fucking bucket. They can average 25 to 30 a night. So the Pacers have been through that. They've seen offensive juggernauts. They've seen the foul baiting in the playoffs against Brunson. Brunson, they kind of held him, but he didn't go as crazy. But we're talking about a different beast in SGA, man. Like, the league MVP, okay? So to contain him, it's going to take a team effort. You cannot afford to foul SGA. You cannot afford to turn over the ball. And I don't think the offense is going to sustain or be enough to beat this Thunder defense. And I really think the Thunder are taking it home in 5. I could see the Pacers winning game 1 at home. Thunder making obviously some adjustments. Thunder going out there winning games 1-2, losing 3, and then just 4-5. It's the Thunder all the way. They're a much better team overall, a much better defensive team overall, a much better cohesive team. You've got the best player on the floor in Shai. You've got the league MVP in Shai. And it's going to take a very special effort for the Pacers to pull this off. I'm telling you, the books have them as a -700, guys. A -700, the Thunder. That's fucking crazy. And everyone's writing the Pacers off. So if there is someone to do it, it would be special to see the Pacers, a team like this, a team no one really thinks are going to even be in the play or in the finals, win the finals. That would be cool. But like I said, it's Thunder in 5. I'm more confident saying the Thunder sweep the Pacers than the Thunder get taken to game 6 or 7. Like, it's either 4 and 5 for the Thunder or the Pacers are winning. Like, that's just what it is. I think if the longer the series goes, the Pacers are going to win if it gets to that point. So I got either Pacers in 6-7, but if I had to make a pick right now, gun to my head, I'm making a pick Thunder in 5. That is my choice. The defense is too much. We saw what they did against the Timberwolves. It does not help the Timberwolves could not fucking shoot for their life. They were ice-ass cold for half the games, as were the Pacers. I don't think, we've seen some fucking crazy moments from the Wolves where they just could not shoot, and the Pacers are not like that. So if they keep playing cohesive, who knows? It's anyone's game. Like I said, until we see game 1, and game 2 is always the most important, seeing the adjustments. Game 1, people say, could be a feeler game for both teams. You never know what happens, but my prediction is Thunder in 5. Hopefully the Pacers pull through, but if I'm a betting man, which I'm not, Thunder in 5. That's just my take on it. Defense too much for the offense, but it should be fun. We get 2 really good young stars. 3 players have only won rings on the combined teams. So we're getting a lot of new players winning rings. This is good for the league. Parity is good for the league. I don't care. It's grimy, yes, but parity is good for the league. It really is. Even though the NBA is a star-driven league, this is good. And there's big enough stars and big enough storylines to where this is good for the casual fan. Okay? That's my thought. Thunder in 5. Let me know what you guys think. If the Thunder are winning, if the Thunder are sweeping, if you think the Pacers could pull it off, let me know in the comments. If you disagree with anything I'm saying, let me know as well. We'll debate, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.